with us telling us that Houston Texans head coach and de facto general manager Bill O'Brien has been fired by the Houston Texans.
Robinson takes the snap. Robinson lost the football. What is that on 4th and 1?
What about your connection with Romeo Crennel? What difference did he make for the team this week?
He just kept the guys loose. He just made sure the guys stay focused on the task at hand. And if we can control that and just go out there, just play football, play free, and don't worry about the mistakes. Just keep playing all 4 quarters, and then we're going to come out with the victory.
Welcome! Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques!
Ho!
Jacques!
Ho!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How is everybody doing?
Tighten up.
Tighten up. 4-0 feels good, man. Feels good.
We got another opponent we got to take care of, and that's them Houston Texans. So
yep,
this game is going to be very important because it gives you a massive lead. Not a massive lead, but a good sizable lead in the division.
Yes.
You can go up 1-0 on another opponent, a divisional opponent. We already went up against 1-0 against Jacksonville.
Yep.
Let's do it against the Texans. My whole goal, it felt good to beat the Bills how we beat them.
Man.
But people, I want to iterate and I want to beat into people's head. Win the division. Win the division. Win the division because it gives you home field advantage. We only have to play probably – and I know the playoff format is different this year, so we probably might have to play 2 home games. But, hey, a home playoff game is a home playoff game.
Yep.
Home field advantage, and we know the Titans do very well in winning at home. The home percentage is amazing. Hey,
Titans. Win this. And, you know, we're looking at a Houston team, though they're not injured. I mean, they got their players. But, man, they look totally different. Right now, they are struggling. And, you know, we need to try to beat a team while they're down right now, right? They're struggling on offense and on defense. And, again, they are an AFC South opponent. And Houston has always been a team that causes us problems. We always split with these cats, man, no matter whose record is what, right?
Right.
So, coming off the game against Buffalo on the high that we're on, you know, I think the team is still as high as Josh Norman is still flying right now, right, from Buffalo.
Right.
I think going into this game here in Nashville, the Titans can show even more grit by beating this team. Now, Tennessee is coming off, you know, only a few days off from Tuesday's game. Now they're playing on Sunday, so not a lot of rest. But we do get players back, though, sir. We do get some new play. We get some players back from the COVID list. So that is very promising against the Houston Texans.
Right. And that's facts, man. Like, literally, facts, no paper. Like, literally, we get blasting game back. So that's more arsenal, more weapons that we get back. So we did it with – we quote-unquote did it with a half a team.
Yep.
Against the Bills. And we get, like, we almost at 85% this game.
Yep.
Now, hopefully, when week 7 comes around, we at 100%. But I'm like you. This is a different Texas team than we've seen last year. We know they fired Bill O'Brien.
Yep.
We know they don't have D-Hop no more. We know D-Hop will give us fits. The Texans almost have built their team as how the Kansas City Chiefs are built, but they got a bootleg version of it. They got the speed. They emphasize speed. Speed is okay, but they don't have a true number 1 receiver.
Right.
Some people say Will Fuller is the number 1. Nah, Will Fuller's number 2 at best, right?
Right.
They got Brandon Cooks. Trying to think another receiver.
They got Randall Cobb.
They got Randall Cobb, which is a good. He's from Tennessee.
He's from Tennessee. Yep.
So we know Randall Cobb when he was playing with Green Bay. We've seen these familiar faces. We've seen Brandon Cooks. We've seen these players. So a tendencies, man, is play your game and do you. And the Titans, like I said earlier, tend to win well at home. Like we right now, we are a better team at home. We feed off the energy at home, and home field advantage is huge for us. So we don't lose a lot at home. And I think our record last year was pretty decent when we was at home. So let's continue it, man. Let's continue it.
And then you got to look at Houston. You know, last week was their first week they had Romeo Crennel, right? And they rolled the wave off that, as most teams do. We was on the Titans Tube show last week, and we kind of spoke on that. I think we both had Jacksonville to beat Houston. But they did play high upon Romeo Crennel being their coach. So now it's the second game. A lot of times it is what it is now, right? You know, whatever how they roll is down. It's back to normal. It's back to reality. When you look at Houston, let me tell you what's wrong with Houston, man. they turn the ball over a whole lot, dude. They're one of the worst teams in the league in turnovers, and we're the best team when it comes to turnover ratio, right? So that's a bad combination for Houston. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But, you know, you're not hearing a whole lot. And Houston made the playoffs last year and won a playoff game last year. They beat the vaunted Buffalo Bills, right? And so Houston fans right now are probably throwing up in their mouths. One, they don't have D-Hop, and D-Hop's balling with the Cardinals right now.
Goal from the 4. Murray fires, touchdown, and it's DeAndre Hopkins.
Catching passes all over the field as he did here. Man, D-Hop was a problem, bro. He really was. And you essentially traded him for David Johnson. And at the end of the day, you know, we heard that J.J. Watt and Bill O'Brien got into it real bad a few weeks ago as to what helped to get Bill O'Brien fired. And it's kind of weird because I wouldn't have thought Bill O'Brien would have been the first coach fired. We have Adam Gase and even Quinn, you know, eventually did get fired with the Falcons. And so, you know, Bill O'Brien wasn't a terrible coach. I mean, he was a coach and GM, and I think he just wore out his welcome. You know what I mean? He'll get hired somewhere. But, I mean, is he a Super Bowl coach? Probably not. But he definitely he was smart and just was not a good fit. I think he let his ego get the best of him, start getting rid of players. He's like, I want to run it the way that I wanted to. Deshaun Watson and Laramie Tunsil, you're going to get your money, but everybody else, they better fall in line. If not, get on out of here. So Houston has lost a lot since last year. And, hey, we're here now, man. You know what I'm saying? They got to play the Titans. Yes.
Before he came to Houston, we know he was with the Patriots. Was he their defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator?
I think he was their offensive coordinator.
So
and he was with, Penn State as well, too.
This is going to sound crazy. But we know how Arthur Smith is doing pretty good. He's excelling as a coach. We might lose him next year.
You think Houston could be a place?
It could be. It can be either Houston is a place or Bill O'Brien comes here as an offensive coordinator.
Right.
Be a little weird because we know those ties he has with Vrabel. He has with Clowney. Like,
good point.
I'm not saying any speculation, people. I'm just saying I just see sometimes you see writing on the wall and it just makes too much sense. It's like, what if this happens? What if or what if situation? But yeah, man, like you said, or just now, Hawk, they're not the same team. And being not the same team, the Houston had a small. Well, Houston window has always been there. It's literally always been there for them to get a Super Bowl.
Facts, no paper.
They've had talented teams, but it's just. Their playoff woes, man. It's just the culture. I go back to culture, people. I say this all the time. When you have an organization with culture, you tend to excel. And what's happening to the Tennessee Titans, and you've heard it here on this show, on Tennessee Titans Weekly, we have established a culture. So if you ever hear any other people talking about culture, you heard it here first, right?
Yep.
We have a culture now. That last week was culture.
Yep.
Last week was talent. Last week was culture. Disciplined, smart, gritty football players. So let's bring that same energy to this game.
Yeah. Correct. So, Jacques, to add to that, man, Houston is coming in to Nashville 1-4. They have the Titans to be the favorite. I think they're a 4-point favorite here against Houston. So give me a reason or reasons why you think the Tennessee Titans could win this football game against the Houston Texans.
Well, the league has opened and they've awakened a sleeping giant in the Titans, literally. Those first 3 games, the Titans were just feeling their way. They were preseason at best, and I call it preseason because it was like their preseason. But when you piss them off about this virus situation, right?
Yep.
And what they did to the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills have a way better team, a way balanced team than the Texans, right?
Yep.
I don't feel a slack off here, man. It's going to sound crazy, but I feel we know Derrick Henry's not getting the ball 30 times a game. He don't have to. I think this will be a big game for Derrick Henry. We know latter part of the last year, the last game he went off on the Texans, and we know he was riding high. But play your game. You ask me how we can win, play your game. Carry the momentum. How the scheme and the defensive scheme we had last week, you're going to need that same scheme against Watson because Watson has a tendency to run. He's more athletic than Josh Allen. They have the same talent, but he's more elusive than Josh Allen, right?
Yep.
You can't let Will Fuller get behind you. You can't let Brandon Cooks get behind you. Randall Cobb, we can take care of him. But if you play that bend, don't break, that true zone defense, you make them beat you in front of you, right? Not behind you. Because Deshaun is uncharacteristic of him, but he has 5 interceptions, people, to 9 touchdowns. That's a weird ratio for Deshaun Watson. And you can tell he misses D-Hop, right? Because he doesn't have a true number 1. David Johnson is not going off like that.
Nope.
And we get back big Jeff Simmons. So that's going to bolster the defensive side. Offensive side of the ball, their DBs are okay. They got Hargraves right there. They got Reed in the back. But our receivers are so beefy and strong, man. It's going to be a hard time for Hargraves to guard AJ. He had a hard time last year. So just the game is slowed down to him. Play your game. So literally, it's a carbon copy of Tuesday. Take that same formula that you won that Tuesday and bring it here. And what scares me, Hawk, it can get ugly, man. It can get ugly. We can put up another 40 burger, maybe a 50 burger if we wanted to. I mean, the Texans have put up 50 points against us. So I would love, that'll be my dream. This will be a dream. Even though 2020 has been a jerked out year.
Yep.
This would make my year if we beat the Buffalo Bills and spank the Texans and handily. Hey, I'm fine. So for me, how you win, play your game. Take that same carbon copy you did last week and copy and paste. What about you, Hope?
So I think the mathematics here is pretty simple for the Tennessee Titans to win this football game. When you look at the Houston Texans, the only player that can kind of scare you on defense for the most part is J.J. Watt. Now, Zach Cunningham, the Vanderbilt product, he leads them in tackles, and that's fine. But Houston is the second worst rush defensive team in the league, okay? That doesn't spell well when you're playing against the Titans with Derrick Henry and our offensive line. Merciless he can sack the quarterback pretty well. He's had 3 sacks this year, but I'm not worried about that. Houston turns the football over a lot as well. They are -5 in the turnover ratio. So they've been turning the football all season long, right? We are +8. We're number 1 in the NFL in turnover ratio. Do I need to say anything else, right? You have to look at, being opportunistic in this game. You have to look at, okay, you guys can't stop the run. You really can't stop the pass either. I think Houston's defense is one of the worst defenses in the league. I feel bad for Deshaun Watson because right now he's a lame duck out there right now because there's nobody out there he can throw it to. He got a lot of little bitty receivers that have speed, don't get me wrong, and receivers that can put the football in the end zone. Then I'll talk a little bit about that later too. But I think their defense is what's going to be the struggle in trying to stop Derrick Henry. And even if they try to stack the box, that's fine. Let Ryan Tannehill do his thing. Let him throw the football. Again, people don't give him a lot of respect still. When you look at Ryan Tannehill, he has 1 interception all season long. So you got Bradley Roby at one corner, Vernon Hargraves. Mm-hmm. You got Eric Murray at safety. You got Justin Reed at safety. I like my chances with A.J. Brown, Corey Davis coming back, Adam Humphries coming back. I like my chances. Jonnu Smith at tight end. I like my chances, right? So I would say for Houston, I don't want to predict this is going to be a blowout because every time I think that or say that, it don't happen. We'll win, but be like barely, right? But, Minnesota beat them, and we beat Minnesota. And Minnesota really, they didn't just blow them out, but physically they whooped Houston, and I think we can do the exact same thing. So that's why I think, again, just run the football. Run the ball, be strong, and if they happen to stack the box, I have confidence in Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball against Houston. Definitely.
So how we know we can win.
Yep.
Of course, you got to give me a reason why you think we're going to lose.
Well, I think, man, if anything, man, Houston, the positive that they have is speed, and that's Deshaun Watson and their receivers. And, I told you earlier, man, live at Titan Stadium or any stadium I've been in the NFL when the Titans have had road games, Deshaun Watson is one of the best players I've seen live. For real. He is that good. And ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, he might not be playing it this year. Maybe because he ain't got DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe because his line is trash right now. But Deshaun Watson is the most talented player in the AFC South, if you ask me. Okay, especially on offense. He might not be showing it right now, but he's got that. You know what I'm saying? So, he's always given us a problem in throwing and running. He can do both very, very well. We don't want this game to be the game he starts picking up that confidence. Right. Deshaun Watson is a winner. Now, You got Will Fuller, who's always giving the Titans issues unless he's hurt. Will Fuller he has a high propensity of getting injured. We got to stop Will Fuller. We have to stop Randall Cobb. We have to stop Brandon Cooks. I'm not so much worried about the tight end fails. I mean, I'm looking at more of all these receivers that they have that could cause a problem for us. And so, Falls. And then they got the other guy, Atkins. So for me, is we can lose if we underestimate these receivers going down the field. If we don't cover them correctly, they'll be open. And when they're open and they catch the ball, they are a problem. So that's how we can lose, man. So about for you, sir.
Man, not being focused. I say this all the time. Only team that can beat the Titans is the Titans, literally. Making mistakes, not creating turnovers, literally not being focused, taking this game lightly just because they're 1-4. We know the Titans have done that in years past where we beat teams that we know we're not supposed to beat. We lose to teams like this. Literally.
Facts, no paper.
And you let these teams stay in the game. Don't let the Texans stay in the game. Like you said, and even though they played Jacksonville, I still think Jacksonville has a decent team. People might be like, no, they don't. Jacksonville is a trending up team. They just need a couple more pieces. But with the Texans, they have a little bit of confidence now. Like you said, they don't have Bill O'Brien. They got Romeo Crennel, which is okay, which is cool. But you have to kill that buzz right there. And if you don't kill it, like you just said, you'll open up and you'll awaken a beast in Deshaun Watson. Now, if we don't come in here focused, if you're playing at home, which I'm glad we're actually playing at home because that gives us an advantage, then we can lose this game. And if we get off our character, if we don't play Titan football, the new Titan football, if we revert back to the old Titan football, then we're going to lose this game, right? Yep. But for me, it's staying focused and being true to yourself, not reverting back to what you were 4 years ago. So that's for me, man.
I got you, sir. I got you. So, speaking of that, of two ways we can lose, is there a player on the Texans that you feel that we should be worried about?
Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Deshaun Watson. They call him, was it Debo? Call him Superman? I mean, not Superman. What do you call him? Michael Jordan. He said he's Michael Jordan. He called him Michael Jordan. He's a college coach called him Michael Jordan. And we've seen him do remarkable things. And I was at the game last year when they beat us, right? Yep. And just weird things happen when we play the Texans. Just weird things. So my thing is you got to get pressure on Deshaun. And when you get a hold of him, like I tell you with any quarterback, if you get your hands on him, you have to get him down, right?
Yep.
I'm glad we got Big Jeff back because Big Jeff creates that disruption in the middle. He creates that chaos in the middle. So it leaves that outside open to where if Deshaun wants to run on the outside, which he's fast, you got to watch it because last year they beat us when they was at Nissan Stadium. He used them legs. That was the reason why they won the game last year was because of Deshaun Watson. So you have to contain Deshaun Watson and keep him in his box. Keep him in his box, make him throw turnovers, we'll be fine. But if you don't, you get him to contain, watch out for him. You're going to have a long day. The defense is going to have a long day. What about you?
So, Titan fans, those who might not know the roster of the Houston Texans, watch out for number 15, Will Fuller the fifth. You'll see Fuller 5 on the back of his jersey. Will Fuller's unbelievably fast, 4.3 right off the rip, right? In open space, when he catches the ball, if he has a step on you, he catches it, it's a touchdown. It's a guaranteed touchdown. You're not catching him. I think Will Fuller has always been an issue with the Titans. One game 2 years ago, he had 3 touchdowns against us, right? All kind of down the seam. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, a touchdown again. And if Will Fuller can make the game without being hurt, because he, again, has a lot of hamstring injuries, that's really what he hurts a lot is his hamstring and knee injuries. But if he's healthy and he's out there, he's their leading receiver. He only has 22 catches. But over the past 2 weeks, he's been picking it up, okay? And Deshaun Watson, who was, and it's like, oh, I ain't got D-Hop no more. I got to look for somebody. Will Fuller's been there. He's been there longer than Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb. So he has trust with Will Fuller. Will Fuller has to take more of a bigger role now since D-Hop is not there. But, ladies and gentlemen, watch what I tell you. We better cover up number 15 in Will Fuller, okay? A lot of people might not know about this guy. This guy has top-class speed, Olympic speed. He's probably top 5 in speed receivers in the league. As he got a little older, I don't know if that's tapered off or not. He's still very fast, ladies and gentlemen. He's not a big receiver, but he's very fast. If we're not careful, he can blow the top off the defense. I'm telling you. So players like Kevin Byard and Kenny Vaccaro are going to have to be careful deep. I think they will be, but just be careful for number 15 and William Fuller the fifth. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. Real talk. So
It's facts. So
yeah, man.
We get to the point of the show where we predictions and scores, man. Who win the game? What score you got?
So I know Vince Young, the jersey I'm rocking right now, he's from Houston. And, he's had big games against the Houston Texans. Derrick Henry of late has been having big games against the Texans. And so for this game, because I do feel Derrick Henry will have a good game, is the reason why we will win this game against the Texans. Again, Houston's offense is very poor. David Johnson's only has like 293 yards rushing this year. So, again, you spoke on Deshaun Watson, 9 touchdowns and 5 picks. And then you look at it, he's only had 1,400 yards pass. I mean, it's just they're off right now. There's something not right with Houston right now. They went from a playoff team to a way off team. So for me, I'm saying Tennessee, who's averaging, what's so crazy is Tennessee's offense is not really ranked, one of the highest teams in the league, but they're averaging 30 points a game, which is top 5 in the league. So we're putting up points. So we're going to keep adding to that, sir. So instead of 30, we're going to say Tennessee 33, Houston 17.
Okay.
What about for you, sir?
So, and you spoke upon Will Fuller earlier and the speed that he has, and there's ways that can be combated, and I've seen it when we played the Bills. So, scores, man, I'm gonna say Titans 35. I'm gonna say Texas 14.
Man, we got them blowing them out, don't we?
Hey, we did, but the reason why, man, is because they're putting up points, and it was almost the offense is up here, the defense got to catch up, right?
Right.
The defense is starting to catch up. That's a scary thing, people.
Scary, bro. That's
scary, man. To really think about it, it's like that's scary once they catch up. So, to me, like I said, 35-14.
Yep.
And the offense, I'm not worried about the offense. Offense going to do their thing. Hey, I'm so confident in the offense. I'm like, hey, do y'all thing, bro.
Yep.
Defense is what you got to worry about. So, me, 35-14, dog.
Gotcha, brother. Gotcha, man. Tighten up, baby. Tighten up. And to Texans, Texan down, baby. We trying to get this win, man. We trying to get the AFC South win in this thing. We trying to be 2-0 in the division. And Houston, you're on our way. We trying to get this thing going, man. So
right.
Yep.
Definitely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that ends the show, folks. As always, thank you for joining and watching the show. Please make sure to keep following and subscribing to us. As well, if you want to check us out on Instagram, go to Tennessee Titans Weekly. As well on YouTube, we're here. As well on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. And if you want to contact us, you can contact us at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com.
Also, and I say this every time, cut your notification bells on. And this little bell icon by the subscribe button. Cut it on because you'll get notifications when we go live and if we post any videos, anything like that. So make sure you do that. Also, I tell you every show, man, tell your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, your daddy, everybody, share the video. Literally, if you're a Titans fan, share the video. If you're a football fan, still share the video because, hey, we just don't know our team. We know your team, too.
We do.
So
we do.
Definitely subscribe, man. We got good things coming down the pipeline, people. So get ready. Just like I say, get ready. Tighten up.
Tighten up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you on Sunday for the post-game show. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Let's tighten up. Let's get to 5-0. Let's get it.
5-0.
Let's do it.
Baby.
Let's do it. Tighten up.
Tighten up.
Yes, sir.